It was late at night. It was one of those days you wish to be over already. Raining all day, dark, windy. I was alone in my room scrolling through my Facebook. A post read, "What is the worst place to visit in Mexico?" I scrolled down, and then I saw it. I couldn't believe it. They were seriously mentioning my hometown. The place where I took my first steps, where I went to school, learned to dance, play the piano, where I had my first kiss. The city where I spent 23 years of my life. I mean, okay, not everything is perfect. Some streets could really use a makeover, as well as the sewer system. The weather changes more often than my boyfriend his underwear. And when we see someone familiar on the street, instead of saying hi, we'd rather pretend they don't exist. But on the other hand, there are a lot of good things too. That night, I forged a plan. I will show everyone that San Luis Potosí is cool. Hi, welcome to Joseph's guided tour in San Luis Potosí. Thank you for joining us this morning. I'm very excited to be your tour guide today. Please enjoy my hometown. And now, a brief introduction. San Luis Potosí is the place to be. They say that people strange, but that's about to change. Cause I'ma show you how we still love it here somehow. From the famous micheladas to delicious enchiladas, we have a big variety we offer to society. Gorgeous, gorgeous, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Potosí, San Luis Potosí. Today, I'm going to show you some places that are worth visiting here in San Luis Potosí and also some places that are very special in my life. And what better place to start than in the center of San Luis Potosí? You know, we may not have huge skyscrapers and buildings made out of glass, but we have charm. The center is such a nice place to relax, to walk around and explore. It's full of culture, history, and a bunch of really cool hipster restaurants. Right now, we are here at Plaza de Aranzazu. This is probably one of my favorite spots in San Luis Potosí, and it's so charming that it has become one of the typical places where quinceañeras take their photo shoots. This place is usually open, and I remember that one time we actually got to record it for one of our videos, so if I find the footage, it's gonna be here. Bienvenidos a San Luis Potosí. So we are at Plaza Aranzazu, where you can buy a bunch of handcrafts and handmade jewelry and things like that. Super nice. So this is the passage right next to the Plaza de Aranzazu. It's full of nice handcrafts and you can buy a bunch of cool things. And it's so nice that it actually is the place where Pepe Aguilar recorded his video ¿Qué nos pasa? ¿Por qué nos perdimos? I don't want to sing here because everybody's listening to me and it's awkward. So let's move on. Ooh. Actually, San Luis Potosí Center is very famous because it has a lot of nice gardens like the one behind me. This is Jardín de San Francisco. And this one is particularly special for me because this is where my sister got married. Now you may come to San Luis and find this guy and think, what the hell are they thinking? Well, this is actually a representation of a religious ceremony here in San Luis Potosí. It's very famous and it's called Procesión del Silencio. There's too many places for me to show you here in the center, so this is my fast tour. This is Plaza de Armas. This is the cathedral. This is the Nuestra Señora del Carmen Church. These are some of the hipster restaurants I was talking about. This is Plaza del Carmen. This is Teatro de la Paz. This is a museum. And this is another museum. Okay, as you can see, I'm not the best at talking about museums, but you get the point. We're still in the center, and this is the center of the arts here in San Luis Potosí. It used to be a jail, that's why it looks like that. And here is where I used to come and practice piano when we were doing the Phantom of the the opera in my city, and I had to lock myself inside of a cell where there were inmates in the 90s and just play the piano and enjoy. It was a bit creepy, but kind of cool. So in case you want to check it out, it's worth it. Now, if you're looking for something a bit more green, you can come to Parque Tangamanga.
Tanga.
Yeah, my boyfriend has the mind of a 10-year-old. This place is actually very cool because it's the second biggest park in Mexico. It's really huge. There's so many things to do here. There's squirrels, there's dogs. It's just like a nice place to come and relax, and it's actually very well taken care of by the government, if I say so myself, because it's always green and pretty. There's a zoo, there's a planetarium, there's a bunch of things to do here. And one of my favorite spots is El Lago Mayor. It's the big lake of Parque Tangamanga, where you can just come and sit by the lake, have a nice picnic, have a nice day under the sun. Although, it could use a little bit more water. This place is very beautiful, but there's one spot in the park that is very special for me growing up here, so we're going there now. As some of you know, dance is a very big part of my life, and this is actually the studio where I learned to dance, where I was a beginner taking my hip-hop classes. It's so special for me to be here, even though it doesn't look that great and there's broken glass and stuff. It still means a lot to me, because I remember looking forward to Tuesdays and Thursdays when I would have to come to take class. And actually, if you can see there in the back, there's this tree. When I made friends, and I made very, very good friends in dance classes, we would always hang out there, waiting for the classes to begin. We loved dancing so much that my crew and I would come early because they were still the beginner classes there. And this is where my first choreos were born, because we would use this glass as our mirror. And we would just be dancing and choreographing here outside, waiting for the actual class to start. So it's so nice to think this is where all of my dance videos from back then started. Now, my city doesn't have that many big international chains of restaurants, and I remember it was so funny growing up. When they started arriving, people were going crazy. I had a friend that was camping outside of the first Krispy Kreme in the city because she wanted to get a donut, and Krispy Kreme felt so bad for her, I guess, that they gave her a lifetime supply of donuts. Now, this is the part of the tour where I'm gonna recommend amazing food that you can eat in my hometown. And first of all, you have to try a michelada because they were invented in San Luis Potosí, so I guess they're special. I've never had one outside of my city, so I don't know, but try it out.
It smells like lemon, for sure.
Go for it.
All the chili is right here where my mouth is. Wait.
Be open to new experiences.
That's what she said.
You should try enchiladas potosinas. That's my favorite dish in the entire world. Well, one of my favorite dishes. And I miss it a lot when I'm traveling, so check it out. You should try chocolates Constanzo. They're very famous in my city. They have been around since forever. And if you like gorditas, you should go to the Gorditas de Morales. It's a street that's literally full of gordita restaurants, and they are all super good.
Let's see how spicy it is. I think they're both spicy.
Now, San Luis Potosí may not be famous for its shopping malls, but we do have some. For example, this is Plaza Tangamanga. It's quite old and it has a lot of local stores. I remember I used to come here all the time when I was a child. Then there is El Dorado. In this mall I have a lot of memories from my teenage years, and here is where my very first boyfriend asked me to be his girlfriend, and it was super awkward and it only lasted for 2 weeks. So, what's up, Felipe? And this is Plaza San Luis, and this is actually Yannick's favorite mall. I don't even know why. Why is it your favorite mall?
That was the first mall that we went to, maybe that's why.
Man, the weather in San Luis Potosí, people, super windy. I don't know if you can hear me. That's why I'm recording myself on my phone. Good luck. We've actually arrived to one of my favorite spots in the city. This is Presa San Jose. Come follow me. This is such a nice place. I love it. I love coming here and just walking around, enjoying the view, enjoying the water. If you come to San Luis Potosí as a tourist, you may realize that after a couple of days you're kind of done experiencing the city, But there's actually a lot of cool places nearby. For example, Presa San Jose is right at the edge of the city. And you can also take a day trip to Cerro de San Pedro, for example.
It's the same old sound in the same old town.
We went there last year, and it's a small ghost town that used to be a mining site, and it's super charming. Of course, obviously, you can also go to Huasteca Potosina, a beautiful place that you cannot miss in San Luis Potosí. I hope I don't fly away in the middle of this video.
It's the same old sound for days to come.
Huasteca Potosina is beautiful. It's a part of San Luis Potosí state, and it's full of jungle and amazing waterfalls and vegetation, and it's just amazing. That's why I wanted Yannick to experience it right when he arrived to Mexico the first time. So we went there before we were even YouTubers, and that's why we don't have any videos there yet, but hopefully coming soon. So that's my hometown. I know there will always be people who don't like it here. And I get it. I know it's not the most exciting, modern, or entertaining city to visit. But I hope I was able to show you that with its charm and beautiful spots inside and outside of the city, it might be worth a visit after all. For my part, I know that it will always have a special place in my heart. It's the place where I took my first steps, where I went to school, made a lot of friends, learned to dance, play the piano. It's the city where I spent 23 years of my life. And that's why it will always be a big part of who I am. It's who I am. San Luis Potosí is the place to be. It's part of me.